What is up, guys? It is DMG here, and today we are going to be doing the first instructions video for FIFA 18. It is going to be around the 41212-2, which is the narrow version of the 41212. So if you're new to the channel, what we do with this is that we basically just go over a formation and we go over the instructions and tactics that I personally use for it and that I think would be good for success when using this formation. So saying that doesn't necessarily mean that you will want to follow every single thing that I do in this instructions video, because while, like I said, the majority of it will probably be good for you, other times, you know, there will be small things that you do not like, because again, it is about personal preferences, about what you want to do, how you guys play. So again, I'm just giving recommendations. This is what I use and what works for me. So like I said, it is going to be over the 41212-2, and this is one formation that I've been using a lot for FIFA 18 recently, and it's actually for both of my squads. For my starter squads, it is the formation that I've been using, and this is for one of my accounts. For my other account, I also have a starter squad around the 41212-2 as well. So, you know, I have a lot of practice with this formation. Now, real quick, before we go into the instructions, I just want to say real quick, if anyone has any formations that they've used this year that they actually think is overpowered, let me know, because overpowered formations change from year to year, right? FIFA 16, it was the 433-4. FIFA 17, it was the 4-3-2-1 and the 4-1-2-1-2-2. So, you know, it might change for this year as well. I've noticed people really like the 4-4-2. A lot of people like this formation. Some people do like the 4-3-2-1, but not as much as other formations. So again, let me know what you guys have played with and what you guys think is overpowered. But for right now, we are going to go into the instructions for the 41212-2. So starting with the defense, for the center backs, we never really change anything. I don't think we ever have, actually. And then for the left and right backs, we're going to put them on stay back while attacking. I'm pretty sure only one or two instances we've actually had them on balanced attack. So, you know, this one is no different, nothing out of the ordinary. We're going to have them on stay back while attacking. For the defensive mid, we're going to have them on stay back while attacking and man mark. Now, stay back while attacking is the one that's the most important. Man mark, you know, that could be changed to balanced defense. That could be changed to cut passing lanes. It's whatever you guys want. I personally don't really see it as a huge difference, but, you know, I'd rather have it on man mark, I guess, because you know, I want someone to be shadowing one of the players, because then it's just easier to kind of pounce on it. Because what I've noticed is that when opponents turn, that the players themselves kind of turn a little bit slower, so it's easier to kind of pounce on it. Now we're going to go to the center mids, left and right center mids. Now, for one of them, I have them on staying back while attacking, and then for the other one, I have it on, you know, just default balance settings. Now, the reason I have Delaney here on stay back while attacking is because, for one, he has high work rates, right? He has high defensive work rates, but he's also more of a defender. He has good defending, he has great physical, right? Now, he can also get forward, which is nice, and he has those higher work rates, which allow him to get forward as well. But Keita is better at going forward. He has, I mean, they both have the same pace, same shooting, but Keita has better passing, and obviously way better dribbling. And let me just say, his dribbling is just fantastic. It's very apparent how good his dribbling is, right? And then Keita also has way less defending and less physical, right? And he also only has high medium work rate, or yeah, high medium work rates instead of high work rates. So I have Delaney on, you know, stay back while attacking because, you know, he is better. I want him to stay back. But the reason I don't have Keita on stay back, which we normally did last year, the reason I don't have him on stay back while attacking is because this year specifically, I've noticed that the runs that the left and right center mids make in this formation can be absolutely fantastic. They can be just fantastic. So, you know, I do want Keita to, you know, he can go forward, right? He's good enough at going forward. He can dribble, he can pass. His shooting is decent enough. I want to see what his finishing is. Yeah, 74 finishing, 76 shot power. So, you know, that's fine. That's good enough to actually, you know, put a ball away or two in the back of the net. So I do want him to go forward. But center mids who can actually attack are going to be a huge deal this year. That's what I've been noticing, because, you know, at first I did have both of them stay back while attacking, and my attack, you know, was kind of lacking a little bit. Once I put Keita on, you know, balanced attack, he was just doing bits going forward. He was doing amazing going forward, right? And, you know, Delaney, again, he can still get forward. So what I would recommend is, you know, obviously the player who's better at attacking, go on balanced, and then the player who's better at defending or has better work rates, have them on stay back while attacking. But what I'd really recommend for the players themselves is, you know, find players who have good high work rates, right? But who can actually go forward, right? So For one of them, maybe get like a Nainggolan, but for the other one, get like a Modric or something. You know, a Modric, and you know, I know I'm you know, kind of get ahead of myself with the players, but Hullet obviously would be fantastic going forward. So, you know, get Hullet, who would be going forward instead of on staying back while attacking. Modric would be a player to be on get forward instead of stay back while attacking. Hamsik would be the exact same way. You know, so players who are kind of a center attacking mid slash center mid, you want them to be unbalanced, while players who are more industrial, who have good high work rates like Renato Sanchez or Delaney or Januzovic, you want them on stay back while attacking because, you know, first of all, they're not as good as attacking, but second of all, you do want someone to stay back a little bit. And then for the center attacking mid and the strikers, what I've noticed for the center attacking mid, actually, I've had them unbalanced for all the games that we played, right? And what I've been noticing is that occasionally he does tend to kind of sit back. And I think that's mainly because Keita here gets forward a little bit. So what I'm thinking is you either have him on balanced or you have him on stay forward. Personally, I think I would rather have him on stay forward. So I think that's what I'm going to do from now on. But, you know, try him on balance, see how you like it. But personally, I am going to have him on stay forward. For the strikers, I have them on get behind and press back line. Now, this has been working pretty well for me, and you know, I've had a lot of success with it. This is the formation that I've been using, and again, it's been working really well. And these are the instructions that I've been using for the strikers. But something that would probably be a little bit better, or not necessarily better, but would be willing to, you know, it'd be good to try it out at least, is have one of the strikers on balanced attack or target man. Most likely balanced attack. I don't know if I would want him on target man. Again, it'd be a good thing to try that out, but, you know, just try it out on balance or target man. Because what I've been noticing is that the strikers this year are, for me at least, they're actually listening to the instructions, right? They're actually listening to instructions. If you have them on get behind, like Origi here, they will actually make runs in behind way more often. There are times that they don't, when they probably should, but they actually do make runs in behind way more often, which is extremely nice because that's what I'm telling them to do. So, you know, both of them doing that can be really nice. Other times it hinders you a little bit. So what I think would be good is have one of them on balanced attack or on target man. Again, try them out. And then, you know, you can get it to them, and then it would be a little bit easier to kind of play a pass through to the player or to the striker that is on getting behind. So those were the instructions, but now we're going to go over the custom tactics. And this is what I've been using for most of my formations, but I've noticed it's been working pretty well with the 4-1-2-1-2. The speed is up to around, you know, 80 or so, 75 to 80 range, and the passing is down to 32, which is going to be around, you know, the 30 or 35 mark, somewhere around there. And, you know, personally, I do really like that because for the passing, I think this is for how close they get. So personally, I do want them a little bit closer. I don't want them, you know, a little bit, you know, further away from each other, at least in the build-up play. And then for chance creation, oh, and then I do also have it on organized because, you know, I do want players to be, you know, where I do, you know, what the formation says, right? I want my right center mid in the right center mid spot. I want my center attacking mid in the center attacking mid spot rather than players just kind of running around just random areas. But then for the chance creation, I have passing up, and this is for like riskier passes. And again, this is for in the final third. Build-up play is the first 2/3 of the field, so your defending third and midfield third. Then chance creation is in the final third. So for passing, personally, I do want it a little bit more riskier. So then, you know, the players, the strikers at least, will be making those runs in behind a little bit more often, and players will be making runs to kind of get open. I think this is kind of where those center mids kind of come to play as well. They will be making those runs in a little bit more often. So then, you know, if you're on one side of the field, you can kind of pass it around and you see, you know, one of your center mids streaking up the field. You can pass it to some other players and pass it to that other guy streaking up the field and score a goal. For the crossing, I have it a little bit up, and that's for players kind of getting inside the box, I would say. And personally, I do like that because I do want more players inside the box. I think this was hurting me a little bit last year because when I put the crossing down, players would not be in and around the goal very often. They would not be like 2 or 3 yards away from the goal, so I couldn't sweat it across. With the crossing up, they, you know, they're going to be positioning themselves in the box because they expect a cross to be coming in, because, you know, they expect the cross to be happening more often. So, you know, when you don't cross it in, you know, personally I don't cross it that much, but, you know, even though I don't cross it that much, there's still going to be players inside the box. So I can cut in and I can, you know, do a driven pass, or I can sweat it across goal and I can just tap it in. And also for the shooting, I have that lower, and that kind of comes into play with the crossing a little bit. Players will not be around the box as much. They're going to be inside the box a little bit more because they don't want to shoot it as often. So the fact that the shooting is lower doesn't mean I'm not going to be shooting it less. It just means I'm just going to be kind of waiting, or the players are going to be positioning themselves for that better shot. So I guess technically you know, there is kind of logic that you won't shoot it as often, but that just means players will be getting inside the box to position themselves for a better shot rather than shooting more often. And again, I do have it on organized for chance creation. A lot of people do have it on freeform, but personally, again, I do like it on organized because then I know where my players will be a majority of the time. My right striker will be in the right striker spot. My cam will be in the center tag mid spot, my left striker will be in the left striker spot, things like that. And then for the defense, the pressure and aggression are up a little bit. That hasn't really changed from last year. I do want my players to kind of be a little bit more aggressive because, at least for me personally, defenders and just players in general aren't that aggressive, so I do want them to be kind of going after the ball as much as possible. But for team width, last year I had it narrower. This year I have it a little bit more wider. And, you know, I'm doing this mainly because, you know, I do want my left and right center mids to be out a little bit more. You know, instead of them just kind of running through the middle and the middle being very crowded, they kind of go around the outside a little bit more, so then they can make those runs in behind and I can kind of get to them and hopefully they will be, you know, scoring goals. So that's going to do it for the instructions and tactics for the 4-1-2-1-2-2. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Hopefully you guys learned something as well. And, you know, hopefully you guys learned some players to get. Again, for the left and right center mids, have one of them kind of as an industrial guy who you want to say back goal attacking, and have the other guy as a guy who can actually go forward a little bit more, who's better at attacking rather than more of a box-to-box mid. Also, be sure to leave some comments about what you guys think are going to be OP formations this year in FIFA, so that I can do some instructions and tactics on those formations as well. But like I said, that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been DMG. Peace.